Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chloe and today, yes, it is finally time for me to do the highly requested, one of the most asked questions I get over on my Instagram, which is please explain the Disney quick service dining plan and is it worth it? So yes, you have finally got your wish. I am going to be talking through all things Disney quick service dining plan and then going through is it worth it. So I also did ask you to ask some questions over on Instagram, so I will be answering those at the end as well. So I have made a lot of notes here and I'm going to work my way through, and I've made notes so that I can try and cover everything as best as I can. I really do hope that this explains a lot for you who are struggling to understand and just see if it's right for you. So first off, what is the Disney quick service dining plan? So there are several different types of dining plan. There are the quick service dining plan, the Disney dining plan and the deluxe dining plan. Now there is a flexi option which has just been introduced, but those are the kind of main three dining plans. But today I am not going to cover any of the other ones. I'm just going to talk quick service dining plan. So with the Disney quick service dining plan, what you do is you get so many credits to spend on food and drink for the duration of your stay while you're at Disney. So what is a quick service credit? So a credit is how they keep track of what you're spending on your food. So these can be separated up into a couple of different options. So with the quick service dining plan, you get 2 snack credits a day and you also get 2 meals a day. Now these meals are quick service or self-service meals. In with the quick service dining plan, you also get a refillable resort mug. So let's break it down a little bit further now we know what we're getting. So let's just talk about the refillable resort mug because that is very easy to understand and then move on. So you get a refillable resort mug. Now this is included as part of your dining plan, but it is actually also available to purchase if you don't have the Disney dining plan. So when you get to your Disney resort, your hotel, what you do is you go to the food court or any kind of shop in your hotel and they have these little refillable resort mugs. I'll try and insert a picture of mine if I can now. I brought mine home with me, I still use mine every day. But what that does is that allows you to fill up as many times as you want drinks while you're at your hotel or any other Disney hotel on Disney property. I know that is so good. You can't use your refillable resort mug in any of the parks unfortunately, but what it does mean is that you pay one price. It's around $19 or like I say free as part of the quick service dining plan, and then you get to just keep refilling that drink mug up as many times as you want. There is a limit in case of like you can only do it after so many minutes so that you don't take the mick, you know, you're not like one. But it's got like a minute or 5-minute timer say after you've had one drink before you can get the other. But it is completely limitless and it starts from the moment that you buy it until midnight I think it is on the day that you leave. So it is a really good purchase even if you're not on the dining plan. In my personal opinion, for someone who drinks a lot, it is worth it. Also, you can take that mug into the parks. Just because you can't refill it for free, you can still fill it up with Disney free water. So it's always a good thing to have. Now, let's talk in detail about the credits. So like I say, there's 2 different types of credits that you get on the quick service dining plan, snack credits and meal credits. So let's talk snack credits. So you get 2 snack credits per day. Now this doesn't mean that you have to use 2 snacks and 2 meals every single day. What it means is that that's how many you're going to get overall equivalent of. So if you're staying there for 7 days, you're going to get the equivalent of 2 snacks and 2 meals per day, but you can use them in any way you want. You could use 3 snacks one day and 1 meal and then none the next day. You can literally use it however you want. It just has a running total on your app or on any receipt after you've purchased anything with it. So it doesn't matter if you do not use them every day. You can use over, you can use under. It's just a rough guide for you to see what is the average of what you're going to get basically. So what is classed as a snack credit? So here you're wanting to look out for this little snack symbol, and this means that it is available as a Disney quick service snack. Now a snack can mean anything. It can be a drink, it can be a cupcake, it could mean fries. It really does vary what a snack is. So the monetary value really does vary, and it could be a bottle of water that's like $3 to $4, but it could also, like I say, be a plate of fries with pulled pork that's $8 or $9. So it's something to really look out for, but that is what is classed as a snack. Anything with the snack symbol can be used as a snack on the Disney dining plan. One other thing that is really good to know is Starbucks drinks. They are also a snack credit, so that is one that is really good to look out for on the snack side of things. Now let's talk quick service meals. I think the snack one is pretty self-explanatory. It's the meal that can sometimes get a little bit confusing. So a quick service meal or a self-service meal is anything that is over the counter. So this doesn't include a restaurant, say, that you go in where a waiter takes you to your table, you sit down and they bring you food. That is not included. What it means is at a kiosk where you go up, you order your own food, they give it to you over the counter and you take it to sit somewhere else. That is a quick service meal. Now this doesn't mean that it's all fast food. Oh no, there are some really nice restaurants, they're just self-service. What it means is that you don't have a waiter coming to your table. So don't think that quick service means cheap fast food. You can get some awesome food with a quick service meal. So with a quick service meal, you're going to get your main, your side and a drink. Now every restaurant is slightly different in how they do this. So what I recommend doing and what we did is asking. So when you go up to a restaurant, ask them what is included with your quick service meal, and they will usually tell you it's this main from this list, these are your sides, and then any kind of drink. And it is so easy to work out. It sounds really complicated, but once you get up there, it's really easy. And like I say, just ask them, and they're really like straightforward about it. You're like, oh yeah, you can pick any of these, and then you drink. And it is so simple once you know that. And like I said, don't be afraid to ask either. Now for your main and then your side, so main is usually, say, like a sandwich, and then as a side you might get a bag of crisps or a plate of fries, and then as your drink you might get a Coca-Cola. So that would be one quick service meal, so one quick service credit. Where it gets slightly complicated is that you get your main, your side and your drink. Your side can more often than not be substituted for a dessert. Most restaurants and places will do that. You just have to make sure you tell them that. So you can go up to a restaurant and be like, I want this, and then instead of a side, can I get a dessert? And most places will say yes. Another way it can get a little bit tricky is because sometimes the main actually has a side with it already, so then you can order another side. So then it makes sense to order a dessert rather than a second side, unless you don't like dessert, unless you want that second side. But that is why I always recommend, when you go up to the kiosk, asking what is included with the quick service meal at that location, because you wouldn't want to order a hot dog, fries and a Coke, but the hot dog part already comes with fries, because then you'd have hot dog and fries, more fries, Coke. So like I say, just make sure that at the kiosk, before you place your order, know what you want in your mind, but just ask them, can you confirm what exactly it is at this location for me? And then with your drink, like I say, it does include most drinks. It's going to vary exactly where you are, but it's your soda, your water, all your kind of fountain drinks, and also alcoholic drinks. So you can, most places, get a margarita, a beer, a wine, a sangria, something like that, and I recommend doing that. So that is the basic outline of the quick service dining plan, and I hope that has made a little bit more sense to you. So now let's talk about whether it's going to be worth it for you. So the Disney quick service dining plan is available to all of people who are over 3 years old. So if you're traveling with someone who is under 3, you cannot actually purchase their quick service dining plan for them, and this is because it's seen as not good value for them. The one thing you can do though, the same in all Disney restaurants, you will not pay for them under that age, but they can eat from your plate. Essentially, a lot of places will give you an extra plate, but what it means is they're not getting their own meal. They'll give you a plate, and from your plate you put your food onto theirs, and they're absolutely fine with that. Like I say, it's just not cost effective for them to be on a dining plan. If you do want to order them food, it's way cheaper and more convenient to just order as you go for them, because they're nowhere near going to eat what a child or especially an adult does. So now let's talk about prices. This is going to be based on a 2021 quick service dining plan price, because let's face it, most of us in the UK probably aren't going in 2020. So I've based it on 2021 prices. So I've got it written down here. For an adult, it is $41.99 per person per day, and for a child it is $19.99 per child per day. Now a child, let me just double check what the ages for a child are. So on the Disney Holidays website, it tells me that at the time of the visit the child is 3 to 9 years old. So if your child is between the ages of 3 and 9, they go off the child's menu prices, so the $19.99 one, and if your child is 10 or over, they become an adult and they pay $41.99. so that is worth noting. If you've kind of got that child that is 10, you're gonna have to pay a full adult price, so you're gonna have to think about, is that worth it for you, depending on how much your child eats. I mean, the baby inside me right now is always hungry, so I'm gonna imagine they're gonna have a good appetite, but if your child is not a good eater, maybe not worth it. So that is per day. So obviously when you book your Disney World holiday, it'll just get added to the total. Now the cost isn't just something you need to take into consideration when you're working out, is it worth it for you? Because there could be many other reasons why it might be worth it, and not just from the cost. So when you're thinking about it, £42 per day, are you likely to spend that amount of money on food? If you're a big eater, it might be 100%. If you don't eat a lot when you're away, especially in a hot climate, probably not. But there are a few other things, like I said, to take into consideration when thinking, is it worth it? So that could be, is it going to allow me to budget better? So by having a Disney dining plan, you're actually paying for most of your food up front. So is that going to allow you to save better, to have better budgeting? You know, that is one consideration to have. And also it means that you're not going to be carrying cash around, because all of your Disney quick service credits get loaded onto like your Disney virtual account. So when you stay at a Disney resort, it's on a magic band, but you know, sometimes it's a card or something like that, but it'll be on your magic band, so you don't have to carry cash around. You just tap with your magic band to pay for things, like you would do if you loaded a credit card up to prepay for things. You just tap that and it takes the credits off your account, so you're not going to have to carry extra cash around for that either. Another thing to consider when you're thinking about, do I eat a lot or do I not eat a lot, is, do you have any allergies or special dietary requirements? Because if you do, then the selection might not be as varied for you, so it might actually not be worth it. Although Disney are very good at catering towards different requirements, such as gluten-free, vegans. Whenever you go into a restaurant at Disney, if you tell them you have an allergy to something, they'll always try and work it out for you. But when you're just talking about quick service, it's just something you need to consider. Are there as many options for me? Am I going to get the most out of it if I do have certain requirements? And also, am I actually spending most of my time eating at Disney, or do I spend a lot of time, I might stay at Disney, but I actually spend a lot of time off Disney property and eating off Disney as well? That is something you do have to consider, because if you're going to be spending most of your time at Disney and eating at Disney, obviously then you take it to the next step. But if you're doing a combined holiday where you're staying at Disney but you're only spending half your time at Disney, half at Universal, or you like to eat out at the American restaurants here a lot more, is it going to be worth it? Because you're still going to have the same amount of credits if you're staying at Disney for like your 2-week holiday, but you're going out to these other parks and going to eat at other restaurants all the time. You're still going to have 2 weeks with the credits to use up, so another thing that you should definitely consider. Now the next kind of area to cover is how to get the most of your money on the dining plan. So a trick to getting the most for your money is obviously to pick the most expensive items. Now this is one that as you're going along you'll realise what is worth it and what is not. So you should never ever use a snack credit on bottled water. I know we've all done it in like the heat of the moment, but for the most part, do not use your snack credit that could be worth like $6 on average on a $3 bottle of water unless you are desperate. Disney always has free water available. I know some people are a bit iffy about it, but I absolutely have no complaints about the Disney water. It's perfect, so yeah. Don't spend it on cheap $3 bottles of water. Some good ways to spend it are on, like I say, the more expensive items, some of which are alcoholic beverages. This is where you get your money's worth on the quick service dining plan, my friends. Alcoholic beverages. So for a snack, you can get some certain drinks. So that might be a Starbucks drink. Like I say, they will all have the little snack symbol next to them so you'll know which they are. Or just go and ask. So go up to a kiosk and be like, can I get this drink as a snack credit? And they'll either say yes or no. So it's always worth the ask in my opinion. But like I say, the way to make the most of it is to pick the alcoholic drinks as either your snack or as part of your quick service meal, because they're still charging you exactly the same. Yeah, an alcoholic beverage to the park is like double at least, if not triple, quadruple the price of just a Diet Coke or something like that, isn't it? So that is how you do it. You make sure that with your meal you pick a wine or a margarita. We drank so many margaritas on our trip to Florida because, yeah, that is how you make the most of your money. And another really good way to spend your food, especially your snack credits, is the Epcot festivals. So while we were there last year, it was the Food and Wine Festival, which we absolutely love, and the prices that they charge for the food at those festivals are quite expensive for the portion size you get, but most of them allow for a snack credit. And again, they have them on the booth menus. They show you exactly what is a snack credit, and sometimes you'll find that you can get $10 worth of food for a snack credit on those little festival menus. So definitely be working your way around the world eating like we did on our holiday, because you get really good value for money with those. And like I say, on your holiday you will just learn as well what is good value for money or not, depending on the time of year you go. Like there might be some giant cupcakes, that's their specialty at the moment, and they might be charging like $8 for those. That is the best price that you've seen that you can purchase a snack for. It's just going to depend while you're there, but you will learn as you go, I promise you, you will. Another consideration to make is that Disney often do release a free dining plan option to the UK, and they usually release it the year before. So right now they've not actually released it for 2021 yet, but they usually do offer it every single year, the year before for people in the UK, and this is when you can really take advantage of it. And every time, in my personal opinion, I would say to take the free dining plan option when it is offered, because you're getting it for free. Now there is a little bit of controversy around it. Some people do say that because they're offering it for free, they put the prices of rooms up, but we actually did book a holiday with free dining for this year. We're now actually aren't able to go on that holiday anymore, but we actually got well, it was an amazing deal for a stay at Coronado Springs with the free quick service dining plan, and we didn't end up paying any more than we would have paid for a room only rate beforehand. In fact, when we paid it, it was cheaper than what I've ever seen it for again. So yeah, that is not always the case. Don't follow that rumour kind of trend. You should do your own research and on your dates, because that is not always the case. Sometimes it literally is free dining, and obviously that's worth it. So hopefully that has given you a little bit of information about what it is and advice to consider whether it would be worth it for you, because it is down to everyone's personal opinion and what's going to work for them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked on Instagram, because these are specific questions that you really want to know about the plan. So the first first question I've got is, are drinks in the Disney parks included in the quick service dining plan? So hopefully I've covered that a little bit in terms of, for the most part, yes, they are. Some specialty drinks will be and some won't be. You just have to look for what's either got the little quick service snack symbol, or when you're ordering your main meal, ask them, is this drink included? But most drinks are, like I say, unless it's a certain specialty drink, so yes. The next one is from Sally, and she asks, the best buys to make the most of the credits and snack advice. There's lots. The best buys, in my personal opinion, for the snack credits would definitely be the Epcot festivals, in particular the Food and Wine Festival, because like I said, that's when I went to. And you just get such good value for your money there. Things that would usually be $10, $9, $8 you get in for a snack credit, which is on average $6, so that is worth it to me. Another really good tip with that is the Starbucks drinks. So you can get a Starbucks drink as a snack credit, but that is any size Starbucks drink. So you might as well get the massive venti size, because why would you pick a small one? I mean, I'm that person that sometimes gets a small one even if it's better value to get a bigger one because I'm only going to drink a small. But not when it's a free Disney dining plan snack credit. I am not. I am getting the biggest size, the best value for my money. So Starbucks drinks get the massive size. And yeah, snack advice is just to eat all the snacks. Try everything. Even things that you don't think you will like. Just go for it, because I'm typically a more savoury than a sweet person, but I find that Disney does have more sweet snacks than savoury snacks, in my personal opinion. So just try them, go for them, even if you think you don't fancy it. You will regret it if you don't try something once you get home, and say you've been lusting after trying a certain treat and you just don't try it because in the moment you think you're not feeling it. Just try it. If you've got the Disney dining plan, don't think about wasting a credit. You will not waste it. Most people end up with more than they need by the time the end of their holiday comes, so just go for it, just use it. Next question is it worth it if your day-to-day park food is breakfast, snacks and late dinner? And that way I would say yes, because with the quick service dining plan you're getting 2 meals and 2 snacks. So if you do breakfast and a late dinner, that's 2 of your meals. And then snacks, you can have 2 snacks in between. So you could use your 2 quick service per day, 1 for your breakfast and 1 for your dinner as your meals. And then you could have 2 snacks as well. So you could have 1 as a food snack, 1 as a drink snack. So definitely if you're going to be having 2 full meals plus snacks per day, it is worth it. The next question is from Steffi, and she has her own YouTube channel and makes her own Florida videos and Disney videos too. And that is, what's the worst quick service you've used your credit on? Now, I am guilty of what I said never do, and that is a bottle of Dasani water, which is $3. It's just so bad, isn't it? But there's just a moment when you're in Animal Kingdom and you don't have any water and you're melting and it's so hot and you're just like, I need water right now, and the only place you can get it is by getting a bottle of water. Yeah, I did it, and I'm really ashamed to say I committed the crime, but it was only the one time and I literally downed that water so quick. I was so thirsty. But yeah, that is the worst that I've ever used it on. And then she's also asked about portion sizing, food quality, etc. So in those kind of terms, what was poor that I used a credit on for the quality or the portion size? Ooh, now that's what I'm going to have to think about. So this is a really hard one, because sometimes it is hard to think back to what you've had. But something that did come to mind, which is actually quite surprising, because it was one of my favourite items of food as a snack. Yet when you think back to it, maybe the portion size of it for the snack credit was quite poor, and that would be the Brazilian cheese bread at the Epcot Festival. They were charging quite a lot for that, so it was worth it in that respect, but actually for how much you got for a snack credit, it wasn't as good as some of the other things that you did get. So that would probably be my answer on that one. The next question is from Emily, and she's actually sent 2 questions in, and it says, any dining plan mistakes you might have made or things you would do differently? So that's a really good question, Emily. And I think what would I do differently would A, get it on the free dining plan. But we didn't know about that before we booked that last time, so I couldn't really change that. But now I would make sure that I got the free dining plan option rather than paying out of pocket for it. And then, to be honest, I was really quite pleased with myself. So I did put a lot of research into it, and I watched a lot of videos such as the Disney food blog DFB guide, and she is amazing at showing different snacks and foods that's in the park. So I was really aware of what different food there was available, and to be honest, the only thing I would say mistake that I made was not eating enough food to begin with. So don't try and save your credits for certain things, just use them all. Like, if you want a cupcake, just go and get the cupcake. Don't think, oh well, I've already used so many today, or oh well, maybe I'll pay out of pocket for that, and maybe I could get $2 worth more for that credit, so I'll pay out of pocket for that. No, don't do that. You can get a little bit too into it sometimes, and just use your credits for it. As long as, like I say, it's not your 3 bottle of Dasani water, use your credit for it. That is the best way to go. And then she's also asked, it might be useful if you kind of walk us through your typical day on the dining plan. So again, another awesome question. So a typical day on how you could spend it on the dining plan would be to wake up and go and get breakfast from your hotel food court. Where we stayed was All Star Sports Resort, and I thought their breakfast, we only had it a couple of times, but it was such good value. So you'd spend one of your quick service credit meals on your breakfast, so you'd get like your pancakes and your sausage and your syrup. You could get a separate takeaway drink because you do get your drink on your quick service meal. I'd grab a orange juice to go so that I could take that into the parks with me. That being like a fresh orange juice which wasn't available in your refillable mug. What I'd do is I'd grab, say, a piece of fruit, or realistically, being me, my side would be a pastry. So I'd grab a pastry, maybe eat that, or maybe again put it in my bag to take to the park, and then I'd also refill up my mug with some coffee. Morning coffee at Disney is so good. They do Joffrey's coffee in all the coffee machines in the resorts, and I absolutely love that. I'm a little bit of a coffee snob and I don't like instant coffee, so I have an espresso machine and I have the pods, and I really like that, and I have an Aerochino to froth my milk with. I know, bougie, so I'm a little bit of a coffee snob, but the Joffrey's is so good. So that is what I'd do for breakfast. Next, I'd head into the park, and what I'd probably do throughout the day, because I'd had a bigger breakfast, was I'd probably have a couple of snacks rather than a lunch. So where are we going today? So let's go to Animal Kingdom. So I'd go to Flame Tree Barbecue, and I'd get the portion of fries with, like, I think it's like pulled pork in it, and you get that as your snack credit. So that is a meal basically, isn't it? So I'd have my breakfast as my one quick service, and then I'd go on late morning towards dinner time, I'd use one of my snacks on the Flame Tree Barbecue fries with pulled pork on top of it. It'd then mosey on round into the afternoon, and I'd stop off for a frozen Coca-Cola, and again I'd use this as one of my snack credits. And then I think what I'd do then is I'd finish up the night going to Epcot, and then what I'd do there is I'd go to Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and that is where I would use up my remaining one quick service meal. A little tip on what I do here is, not everywhere allows you to do it, but most places do. They will allow you to exchange one quick service meal for 3 snacks. I know, mind blown. If you want to know more about that, let me know and I can message you personally about how to do that. Okay, so my camera batteries literally all died, so we're just filming the very end of this on my phone. But what I was saying was I would go to Epcot and I'd exchange the one quick service for 3 snack credits. Now you do have to use this all in one go, but I would find a booth where I liked 3 snack items and exchange my one quick service meal for that. And that is how my day at Disney World on the dining plan would look. But like I say, I can go into more detail about exchanging you one for 3. Drop me a message down below and I can definitely message you back and talk to you personally about that, or on Instagram, I don't mind either. But that is kind of it for my quick service video. I really do hope I've covered anything you might want to know, any questions you might have. Hopefully I have explained it well enough. If there is any questions you do still have, like I say, drop them in the comment box down below, or also message me on Instagram. I do try my best and reply to most messages that I see on there. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching the video and that it has given you a better insight to the Disney quick service dining plan. Please do give it a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it and you've learned something today, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye.